Hey, we are back. I'll tell you, I'd swear, I mean, here we are, season 3, Super Ambassadors Live, and I swear that intro gets longer every year. You add like 30 seconds to that thing every year. I mean, what's going on here?
No, I think we're gonna. I just didn't have enough time to make a new one, but I think pretty soon we should be in syndication. So,
Oh, we will
we,
be.
yeah,
Yes. We'll begin the big checks then as we go on to Turner and everybody
yeah,
else. And so, yeah, we'll be making the big bucks. And, it helps when we got that Grammy Award the other day. So,
that's right.
we that's why we got so many people on the call here. So, all right, for those of you who have not seen our first couple seasons, my name is Dan Havey. I am a super ambassador, and this is
Madison Doherty Tipton. I am also a super ambassador, gold certified funnel builder, just like Dan and ClickFunnels nerds.
yeah. She's even got the little cool 1 Comma Club trophy behind her there. Now, is that the trophy or the sticker?
Both.
Okay, because I told Greg I saw you unpack yours, and I sent a message to Greg and say I just want the sticker. I don't want the trophy. I just send me the sticker. But apparently it comes as a
I
box.
love it, but
Okay.
maybe all the way clear through was not. It's kind of hard to see in the background. So
well, yeah, maybe you got to stick the sticker on the back of it so that you can actually see what it says. So
I might have to modify mine.
Enough of that. We have someone waiting in the wings here who is a ClickFunnels god as far as we're concerned. He knows everything. He does everything. I think he pretty much runs the company, to be honest with you. So without further ado, let's bring in Mr. Robert Schwartz.
I honestly just want to watch the episode. Like, that was great. Oh man, thank you guys for having me. I mean, that was a more generous intro than I deserve. I don't run the company. I know it feels like I do, but
don't you have like every title under the sun? So it's the old episode of Cheers where everybody goes into Rebecca's office and says, "Hey, I want a raise." No. Instead of a raise, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make you VP in charge of the VPs, and then we're going to make you the chief bottle washer. So they all get a title instead of having to get any more money.
I'm assistant to the regional manager. that's what I am.
Okay. Now, what is your real title? What do you do there?
So my official title is VP of Strategic Initiatives and Partnerships. Okay, go figure. Tell me what that means. But what it pretty much means is anything that the company is trying to do to either enter new markets, look at different ways to help increase activation, or work with customers to help them have better success on the platform. I'm here for them. That's what I do. Right. And then on the partnership side, we're looking for partners who can help fill gaps that we don't really plan on filling. Right. Other software agencies or even affiliates or other marketers, high-level coaches that can partner with us, and we can help expand each other's networks. So that's in a sense what I do. I also help you guys. I also help ambassadors just be as successful as they can be, so they can go teach their communities in the world about ClickFunnels. Because that's how.
So meaning he listens to Dan's rants.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Well, listen and listening actively and listening passively are two totally different things. So we'll see if any results come from my rants that I have on occasion, but we'll leave it at that. So there has been in the last, we haven't done one of these shows since probably November or something, Madison. Yep. And so in that last 60 plus days, 70, 90 days, whatever, there has been a whole lot of new stuff being put into ClickFunnels. And that's why we got Rob here today, because he seems to be the man in the know always of what is the latest and greatest thing. And we're going to go step through a couple of them. A couple of them we're just going to kind of go, brush over high level because they're too complicated in many ways to get into on a show like this. But the easier ones that we can easily show you, we'll get into it. But there's a bunch of new AI stuff. Go figure, AI stuff. Gee, shocking that we're building AI into ClickFunnels. Nothing else has AI attached to it these days. I remember back in around about 2000, I was watching a commercial on TV and I go, I am so tired of hearing the term .com. Never went away. It's still there, but it's just, you're just blind to it now. So we'll all be blind to the AI here very soon, or it'll go sentient and blind all of us, and then we won't have to worry about it. So
I feel the same way
here
about
today, Rob.
Well, I feel the same way about like cryptocurrency, and like not to get too deep into that, but it's like I used to be a technical recruiter, right? And I remember I was recruiting a software engineer for a large bank in New York, and when I was talking to my candidate, I was asking him, it was like the start of Bitcoin. And like you can go online to this janky website and buy it for $1. But they sent you this like long, like alphanumeric code that you had to write down or have cold storage for. Yeah. If I bought one back then, I definitely would have lost it. I'd be in a garbage dump somewhere, like sifting through looking for that USB. But I remember it's the same deal. I asked him, I'm like, does this have legs? Like, what is it? And he's like, nah, don't worry about it. So that guy, I forgot what his name was, but he cost me so much money.
Well, but you bought a whole bunch of it, I'll bet.
Yeah, exactly.
But, just to give everybody a Bitcoin update here, because I've been watching it lately, because I used to, as of a few days ago, owned not Bitcoin, but other cryptos. I finally sold the last of it because I got tired of watching it go down. And but Bitcoin back, what was it, 12 months ago, it was at $126,000. Yesterday, it dropped as low as 60. It is now at $70,000. So it went from 126,000 down to 60,000, now up to 70. Had a big rally today. But I'm glad I'm out of everything I had. And we'll look at an entry point at some point in the future. But so all that. So you didn't know you were going to get. You didn't know you were going to get crypto training here today.
Yes. And then he went in his living room and he put in his Betamax and he watched some movies.
Well, one day Madison said she had to watch, what was it? It was Andy Griffith. What was where he was a detective? Wasn't it?
Columbo.
Andy? No, it wasn't Columbo. No, never mind. We'll forget it here. Okay, what are we going to demonstrate first? What we're going to, well, Rob, you had a list of new features. Why don't you run through those, and then we'll take a look at taking a look at them.
Sure.
How's that sound?
Yeah, and you're going to help me with the demos, Dan. So
yep.
The first feature that, we've been busy since, I guess, the last episode of this. And if you look at our changelogs, you can see what we've been releasing. But I came and I wanted to highlight some of the bigger things that customers have been asking for. You guys know I'm a big proponent of customer-driven development and roadmaps. Like I'm on calls with customers all the time, finding out how they're using ClickFunnels, understanding what can make it better for them and easier for them to get started. This is like a second level type of feature that we added because this was happening to us and it was happening to some of our clients. And I don't know if this has happened to anybody watching, but if your funnel happens to go viral or you start getting like tons of people to your funnel, you want to make sure that everybody that you're capturing as a lead is a real lead, right? And it's happened where we have just gotten bombarded with spam accounts and then you have to go clean it up. It looks like your opt-in rate is through the roof and then you're wondering why nobody's buying and your contact list is just like growing and growing, but you just don't realize that you're under attack. Right before, we didn't have a way to stop that. We didn't have a way to put protection in front of your funnel to make sure that only real people. And nowadays, like with AI, I wonder how this is going to change. But because that one button of click this if you're a human, I feel like they can get around that now. AI can probably figure that out. But what we did is we put protection in front of your funnels to help you kind of put this extra layer when you are under attack. So Dan, do you want to show this off?
Yeah. So Madison, you can go ahead and share my screen because I got a story that goes along with this here that Rob has not heard yet. And
once you hit share, I'll share your screen.
Oh, well, gee, right away. Bossy and everything.
So demanding.
Where's that? I don't see it.
Okay, let me see. Here we go. Window, and let's choose that window. Wait, is that the right one? No, that's not the right one. That's the right one. Okay, go for it. Should be the right one. Okay, that appears to be the right one. Okay, so here's the story. So as you know, we're ambassadors in the ClickFunnels group, and there was a woman in there one day saying, I got a real problem. I have had 15 pages worth of purchases in the last 24 hours. So she launched a funnel for like a $7.95 ebook of some sort. Suddenly she gets 15 pages worth of purchases. So she goes into her Stripe account and she sees that most of them are getting bounced by Stripe. And so I get on a call with her and we immediately shut it down. And as we were shutting it down, we went into our Stripe account and I started looking at where each of these purchases was coming from. Every single one of them was coming from the exact same place down in Chile, down in South America. So some scumbag somewhere got a hold of a list and they were pinging their list off of this thing to see which one Stripe would accept. And I suspect that every single one that went through, boom, big charges on those cards immediately. So what we did is we had to go into her Cloudflare account. Now, luckily, she had everything running through Cloudflare. Now, I'm going to stop at this point here because ClickFunnels itself runs through Cloudflare. So, Rob, can you explain this to me? Because I actually don't know the answer to this. How does that work? So, ClickFunnels is running through Cloudflare, and technically, when we set up an account, a workspace, a domain, more accurately. No, when we set up a workspace inside of ClickFunnels, we get a ClickFunnels subdomain. So technically, our workspace is running on clickfunnels.com or myclickfunnels.com, I think, in the case of 2.0. Then we go out, and in this case here, I got smartvideohosting.com. I put that into Cloudflare. I connect that domain then to that workspace. And so smartvideohosting.com is masking over the top of my ClickFunnels subdomain, which technically is running through myclickfunnels.com, which is running through Cloudflare. Did I get that right?
I think you have the wrong guess then.
Okay.
I'm not sure. To be honest, our platform engineering team is really smart and they know how all of that, like all those nitty-gritty details works. I don't know exactly. I believe how you laid it out was correct. No, I think what you said was right.
Okay.
So, yeah.
If not, it's very close to right. Okay.
Yes.
Because, and based upon what we're going to show here in a second, I'm also pretty darn sure I'm right. But I know that ClickFunnels runs through Cloudflare. So yes, ClickFunnels, the software itself, runs through everything on the internet virtually runs through Cloudflare. Same thing. Everything is connected somehow or another to AWS, Amazon. So when those two things go down, forget it. Just go outside, enjoy the sun, walk around for a while, because you ain't doing nothing online if both of those were to go down at the same time. So either way, we're here now so this is the woman's account the other day, let's say. As she tells me this, I look at it, I go, oh my God, we got to do something. Well, here's the thing. It's one simple thing you have to do. Come into your Cloudflare account. If you ran your domain through Cloudflare, come over here and you just say under attack mode. You click on that right there, and we have just now enabled under attack mode. What this does is it does a turnstile is what Cloudflare uses to detect bots. And so now if we come here to this site, let's copy that. And I can't open an incognito window, can I? You're not going to be able to see it. So let's just give this a try and see. What you should see here very quickly is something you're familiar with, which is the turnstile bot catcher, we'll call it in this case here, because it stops what is known as DDoS attacks, dedicated denial of service, or in our case here, it's stopping somebody trying to test credit cards. So you should see it appear here for like a couple seconds on the screen, and then it'll go straight away to the page. Let's see if it works. Because it should, and it didn't. Okay, so don't worry about that. What should have happened is you should have seen, and I don't know of any other way I can simulate it.
I can probably do it on my side, Dan. So it's
okay. All right.
Smart. I can spell video. Hosting.
Okay. Should I stop
Dan,
sharing?
I would love.
No, I can just share up on top of you.
I would love to know because we get support tickets.
Just share your screen. I'm sorry, Rob. Just share your screen, Madison. Okay, go ahead, Rob.
When we call it, the internet is down because everything does run on AWS and Cloudflare. And when those go down, people, they write into ClickFunnels saying ClickFunnels doesn't work. And we try to respond with, well, the internet's down. And so how do you guys explain it to your customers when AWS or Cloudflare is having issues? How do How do you explain that to them?
Well, we just ignore them. You know,
we just say that Russell and Catherine broke the internet.
Yeah.
The offer was too good.
Too good.
Catherine told too many people to sign into their new account all at the same time, and it crashed it. Yeah.
Well, and the funny thing about that is, like, I was actually using the software, and I'm like, man, this is like loading slowly. Like, this is weird. Like, I've not had any of these troubles. And like watching the stream on the other screen and be like, uh-oh. Uh-oh. And I had lost it before they lost it. And I was like, yeah, this is not good.
It was serendipitous, that timing. It was great.
It was great.
It's just because it was like, a perfect storm. It was like we released the offer and then the internet goes down because AWS or Cloudflare are having issues. And we just, usually it takes a couple seconds, but we'll direct them to the status pages outside of ClickFunnels because I'm sure every organization has this issue, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You can't control. Basically you're running this. I looked up one day what it takes to get a signal, to get a web page from ClickFunnels, from your servers at ClickFunnels, how many different steps it needs to come through to get to my house, through my modem, into my computer. And it seriously is like 12 different steps. And along the way, every single one of those steps will cache the page. And so you're doing a round trip from here to the ClickFunnels servers and back again. You have like 24 steps minimum that thing has to go through. And it seems to work 99% of the time.
It does. And it's super fast. Like, think about, like you said, there's 24 steps there. It's an instant, right?
Yeah.
And we're even doing work now to make it even faster. So stay tuned.
Oh, my page didn't load fast enough. Okay. Go back to dial up. Okay. Sit there, listen to your modem squelching at you. Okay. Well, had this worked properly, you turn this on, you would have gotten the turnstile thing there. Like I said, we've all seen it before. There's an orange cloud there. It spins for about a second and then it goes, okay, you're good to go, and moves on because it made sure that you were legitimate. It checks your HTTPS headers and all that kind of stuff. Well, inside of ClickFunnels now, because as I went through, and Rob denied it, but as I went through here and showed you, there is now this setting directly inside of ClickFunnels. So if you don't have it run through Cloudflare, you can just come in here. So you went down to workspace settings, came up to under attack mode, and you can just turn it on right there. You did the exact equivalent of what I did. Now, I said exact. Is it exact? I'm not 100% sure. I don't think Rob can answer that for me. But you have done essentially the equivalent, as you said now. And in this case here, so it says danhavey.myclickfunnels.com. So the very first workspace I ever set up in 2.0, I gave it the workspace name of Dan Havey. Okay. So what this is doing, this is actually protecting at the level of the entire workspace. Whereas the protection I set over here is just at the domain level. So if you have it running through Cloudflare, you can make a decision then. Do I want to just protect this domain because only the one domain is being attacked? Or do I want to attack, what's the word I'm looking for? Protect the entirety of your workspace.
Absolutely.
Don't think it would probably make a whole heck of a lot of difference. But if you suddenly come to your page one day and you go, why do I have 250 people who just signed up overnight? Turn this thing on, then ask questions. Because by the time you get answers to your questions, you might have another 250 people who are on your list who are all bots. So just come in here.
This is the first phase. This is the first phase of this feature, right? Imagine if this happened automatically. If we noticed that you were starting to get too many contacts or too many page views for what your normal traffic is, and you have an option here. Should we turn on under attack mode automatically based on, just patterns?
Right. And the thing is, because it will not filter out good traffic. Under attack mode, all it does is it looks at what's coming at it and says, okay, no, this is a bot. No, this is a spammer. No, bad IP addresses, all that kind of stuff. It'll kick them out, where Mary Jane, who's coming in and wants to buy your beauty products, she'll be able to come right through because she's not a spammer. She's, there's no triggers that are being set that she's knocking down. And I would guess they got a whole series of protocols of what has to be done, the checkpoints that have to go along before, boom, they say, no, you can't come in. So I would, especially if it was running through Cloudflare, I would trust it.
Yeah.
Because I have been using Cloudflare for 20 years and it has worked perfect for me for 20 years.
Mm-hmm. And you have to think about the after effects of when somebody does opt into your page, right? If you have a workflow where you're sending out emails or assets or whatever it is, all that's getting sent out too, right? And if people are marking your emails as spam, that's going to hurt your reputation for that domain. So this is a really important feature that people need to know about. And I'm happy we're able to highlight it here because it's real dollars that you're protecting.
Yeah. Well, and just back to your point on the emails. So you suddenly get 5,000 people who signed up and you send out an email when they purchase, you send out an email 15 minutes later, you send out an email an hour later, you send out one the next day. You just sent them 4 emails, and guess how many of those emails are going to get opened? 0.
Well, they don't even have to open. They just have to bounce, right? And even the bounces affect your credibility with the domain sender. So like if they're putting in fake email addresses, then they're bouncing, then you're kind of ruined that way too.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, my scenario was they were testing credit card numbers. It was very, very clear that they were all coming from the same spot. So, yeah, I mean, it can really mess up your account. So if you see it, turn this thing on immediately. And I'm so glad you guys put this in here because that's going to save everybody.
So why wouldn't you just automatically have it on? What's the downside to that?
That is a good question because I'm pretty sure in Cloudflare, because when I turned it on for that woman, I remember seeing a message that said that it will turn itself off after a certain period of time, but I don't think the period of time was really disclosed. It was like, okay, we're going to turn it off once we don't think you're being attacked anymore. Because, for these spammers, once they go, oh, okay, they caught us, boom, next.
I think the one worry that people might have is it would lower conversions, right? Every second counts. So if somebody's
that's why I wanted to show this because it seriously shows on the screen for a second or two, and we have all seen this before on websites.
Yeah,
I agree.
Every one of us has seen it, and the message on there is very clear. We're just checking to make sure you're not a bot or whatever the heck it says. And so you see that, you go, all right, well, that's cool, and then boom, it's gone. By the time you see it, it's gone. And that's why I wish we could have replicated it, but you've all seen it in the past. Okay, what was the next thing? I'm sorry, Madison, you want to say something?
I was going to say probably best to just turn that on before you do a launch or before you start running ads, because I think the ads would be the biggest trigger for a spammer that you're
actually... Right there. Did you see that?
Bingo.
Boom.
That's it.
That happened internal to ClickFunnels right now.
We're making sure you're legit, Dan.
Yeah. But okay, so if you're watching this, rewind it, look at it, stop it, see what the heck it says there. Hopefully it didn't have my email address in there. That would be horrible. But if so,
if not, send them your favorite GIFs.
Yeah.
Favorite emojis, memes.
Send me all kinds of cool stuff. Okay, so here we are inside of the new UI for the editor. We're going to come back to this for a second because they did another cool thing, and I haven't got this fully set up yet, but it is the ability that okay, so let's go back here. In 1.0, you had the ability to do an OTO, and all you had to do is, if I recall, you had to associate a number of products with your OTO. Then you could go into the settings, put in a button, and then say, okay, if they click this button, they're going to purchase this OTO product. So you could have 3 OTO products, and you say, okay, if they click this button, let's associate this product with this button. They buy it, click it, buy it. It's automatic. Well, in 2.0, for the longest time, you had to put in an order form, and then the order form was supposed to figure out, okay, well, we just came from an order form page. Now we're on the next page. It's going to be an OTO. And frankly, I don't know if that ever really worked that well. So in order to set this up, because now what you can do is you can do like in 1.0, and you can just put in a button. So for our test purposes here, came in, put in an order form on this page here, gave it a singular product on here. So it's not really the place to be showing this, but I put in a product. We're all good to go. Otherwise, we wouldn't have worked. Then we come over here and we're going to go to our OTO test. And this I don't have set up yet because I want to kind of walk through this because I frankly have never done this myself. I've seen it done. I have not actually done it. So we're going to come here and we're going to put in a button. Okay. Now what do we have to do? How do we associate the product with this, or do we have to get back out of here and come back over into this part over here and put in a product? We probably do, don't we?
So what you would want to do is on the button action, that's where you'll find the one-click upsell. So it's not called, it's not
next one down, Dan. Yeah.
Yeah, right there.
Okay.
That's what
I was
you
looking
want.
for the
And
one,
then
one typed out. Oh,
yeah,
here we
now
go.
you can add products right here.
Oh, okay. All right.
So you don't have to go out. You can do it all right here.
All right.
And
we're going to do the dancing raccoon because they're cool. And so we got our dancing raccoon in here. And then, no. Oh, so you can put an order bump in here too on an OTO?
let's try it out.
Let's try it out. So in theory, I should be able to pull this down here. How do you do an order bump on an OTO? Do I need two buttons?
That's a great question, Dan.
You just made that up. You just
no, that's probably something we need to hide. I wouldn't even do that. I would just have a bunch of different buttons. I would do
all the
different OTOs. But what's really cool about what we did here is, like you were saying, on Classic, you can have one button lead to whatever product it was. The limitation that we had previously was we were only able to have one checkout per page. And technically, each button is a checkout. Now, with the update that we've had, now you can have multiple OTO buttons through your whole page. If you have a long form funnel page, you can have the OTO buttons in any section you want. You don't have to scroll them all the way to the up or the to the top, to the bottom, whatever it is, to have them check out. Now they just have to click it. Once they click it, they've purchased the thing. So just that's something great, and just have warnings around that to make sure that the customer knows.
Once they purchase, it will then take them to the next step because that's a submit, correct? So don't think you're going to be able to just click, 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 click. If you want them to add multiple things, then that's when you really need to use an order form.
Correct.
Now,
yes.
I don't think I've ever showed you this, Madison, but I figured out a really cool way that you can actually submit the page and stay on the page at the same time.
Well, Dan, most people are not as smart as you.
I know. That is true.
Or have the money to pay you to do it for them.
Yes. Just send money to Dan Havey at okay. All right. So here, so with this lower button here now, I have this set to Ferrari 6, which is $54. Well, let's go back up here to the upper button, and I now have that one set to, it says loading products. Why is it loading products? Maybe I didn't save it when I said it. Okay, come on. All right, let's just save the page and reload. When in doubt, save the page and reload. Because again, like we said before, these things have to go through massive amount of machinations in order to go from A to B and back again. And it doesn't want to save. Rob, did you break the internet again?
Can you even reload the page?
Yeah.
There we go.
We'll
Let's
reload. Well, I hadn't saved it yet, so now I'm going to have to go through all that incredibly hard work that I already just went through.
Oh, you have 3 clicks.
If the page reloads. Now, see, we broke it. Okay, no, wait, we're back. While this is reloading and we're talking about, and I'm rebuilding this thing very quickly.
That's why you save in steps.
I'm sorry, what?
Save in steps.
Save in steps. Yeah. Okay. Can you put an auto save in here? Put that down on your list of to-do things for today.
Didn't you just hit like Command S or Control S?
That takes finger work. I mean, come on. I want Rob to do this for us. Yeah. Oh, hey, see, it saved. It remembered the products. Well, that's pretty cool. So let's save this here just to make Madison happy. And then we're going to add our product. And so we're going to take this one and put it on the first one here. Then all I'm going to do is I'm going to clone this, come into this one, and we're going to add a product, and we'll take the second product right there. And now we're going to save the page. So now what's going to happen is if somebody comes in, they click on the first one here, they're going to get the dancing raccoon immediately put onto their order. And then if they click on the second one, they're going to get the picture of the Ferrari for $54 that I just send them a JPEG of. So it's kind of a ripoff. Not a very good deal. But yeah, so that works there perfectly. So yeah. Now, the next thing you're going to need here is, of course, this has to go somewhere once you're done. Otherwise, the page is just going to reload. So you have to have an order form first. We have the order form here. We got the OTO here. Now, here, Rob, is here's my request for a fix. Be really nice if there was a plus button down here.
That is on the roadmap.
Okay. Because I was doing this before. I'm like, man, I got to go all the way back out to put in the page because I think...
You didn't save it yet.
You what?
You haven't saved it yet.
Thanks, Mom.
They made that button pretty bright for you, Dan.
So you would expect, and I know we've actually had conversations about adding the plus sign here to add new pages, and I think you would expect it to add a page at the end of the funnel, right? Like if you're on the last page, you would expect it to, add a page to the end of the funnel. What if this last page was a split test? It doesn't show you if it's OTS test 1 and then OTO test 2. If you added the plus at the bottom, would it just be the connector at the bottom of the split test? Would it add it to the split test that you had?
Well,
there's like considerations.
Yeah. So first off, did you see what happened? As soon as I hit that back button, it took me back to here. It did not take me back to this page right here is where I would have expected to have gone back to. Okay. The other thing is, why couldn't you just duplicate essentially what we see here with the nodes in between? Or when I come over and highlight it, so I highlight here, the node pops up below, above and below. So the node is there. So I can then click on it, put in a split test if I want, or a split path, because that's the next question is, and in case anybody's wondering, I have not used this new eye hardly at all before today.
So I noticed. Let me tell you. Okay, so I see where you're going, but we've made it even easier for you to do things, right? Yeah. So, okay,
it's like we planned this.
Yeah, on the top nav, like I know what you're trying to do, but on the top nav, you see there's new buttons there, right? New icons. So right now you are in the funnel builder. Yes, the highlighted orange icon right there, that's showing that you're in the funnel building section. If you click on the one right to the right, the pencil there, click on edit. This brings you right over to all the different pages that you can edit. So when you're asking, can we add the plus signs and the nodes there? I'd rather you just click back to the funnel editor on that first icon there.
Well, you didn't tell me I could do that. I'm a 1.0. I'm used to the old UI, not the new UI here. Okay, so all right. So what's this?
So it's just one click to go back.
Okay, that's workflows. Okay.
So name your pages correctly on your split test, because I think that's going to be the next thing is you're not going to know which one you're actually editing there.
Correct.
Okay, so let's try something here. Let's pull this up. Can I drop that into there? Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's pretty cool. So we come over here, drop that in there. And now we got that. Okay, so now my question is, if I come in over here.
It's just going to order them linear. It's not going to show you like where's the split test is.
Okay, because I was going to say, how would you going to represent that? That would have been tough.
Yes, exactly. And that's why we made it one click to go back to the workflow builder. If you notice, if you remember the last UI, or it could still be the active UI for some people, but you would need to click back, then click into the page to edit. There are like 3 or 4 different clicks that you had to do to edit another page in the workflow, right? If you go back to the edit view, so click on that pencil, you can jump between any page you want just extremely quickly in one click.
Right. Yeah. No, I can't rearrange these here. No, of course.
You can't rearrange them. This is strictly editing pages.
No, I mean, as simple as this is here, I didn't realize that, obviously. Okay, so
I would assume if you hit the shopping cart, maybe that pulls up all your products.
Pulls up all your orders.
Oh,
yeah. So do you have any options on this page? Do you have any? All right, let's go through
No,
them. Let's do this. Let's go.
Yeah,
Okay,
this is just purely a test account here. So I don't have
the first one, that first icon is your funnel workflow builder. This is where you build out your funnel, your architecture, all the good things. The next one that Dan was on, the pencil, this is your edit area. Okay, so if you want to jump between pages and you have copy that you want to go from one page to the next, you don't have to copy it, go back to the funnel workflow builder, click on the next page, and then paste the new copy. You can just copy and paste to each one if it's not a universal section, right? We made things super easy to navigate between the pages in your funnel. Cool. Let's go to that next.
Okay, hang on. You said if it's not a universal section. So
because the universal section will automatically update on all pages.
Bingo.
Oh, okay. That's what you were talking about. Okay, I was going to say, because if I created a universal section right here, could I just come over here then, click on this, and then just go, okay, grab that universal section and drop it in? It should be, if nothing else, worst case, because this is an app, the page did not necessarily reload. So because the page did not necessarily reload, it may not find it because it wasn't there when the page was opened, and so it may not be able to find it. I'm just saying, just in case.
Universal section, I believe, is when you create a universal section, I believe it's a different view, and you save it separately. From the funnel.
Yep. Yeah, because it's actually like two save buttons. Or my camera's the wrong way. There's a little one down there, and then there's a big one. If you seem to hit the big one, nothing works. But if you hit the little one below it, that does seem to work.
What are you talking about? Okay, we're going to save this as universal section.
And then maybe when it's editing the universal section. So, all right, let's see if it's available.
Yeah, actually, I mean, it's all just junk in here I've been playing with. Yeah, there it is, right there. Universal test. Okay.
So even though the page didn't reload, it's still available for you.
So Dan, then just hit I was going to say, hit the pencil on the universal section.
Oh, okay. Let me put that back in there.
And then,
Yeah, so it actually shows two saves, and you hit the save universal block.
Oh, you're saying up here, yeah. And that is one thing I will say to people is a lot of times, especially if you have the sidebar open, let's say you're working inside of a universal section here and you have the sidebar open, you're not going to see that save universal block there. And I found that sometimes it does work differently. So maybe you guys might want to think about moving that, because most of the time then you're working in here and you go, okay, I'm going to go up here and click on save because it's nice and orange and shiny up there, where what you should be doing is hitting here. Yeah. And I actually found, especially,
or just have it respond with the slider.
Yeah, but I've also had it not save properly, not save the universal block properly, because it did a save of the page, not the universal block.
Can you make a change to the universal block? And I'm curious if we prevent the save on the page until you save.
Nope.
It doesn't? Okay. Nope. Click that save on the top, Dan.
Yeah, or I can come in here and I'm doing whatever. And I just save that. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. See, now it popped in here, but I know I have seen issues with it if I click the wrong one.
But usually it keeps your changes in there. You just have to go back and save it again. Yeah.
Isn't this
the other thing is, if you save it and you stay in the universal block, like especially when I'm working inside of courses, I can save everything and stay inside the universal block, and then I'll come back in. I'm like making changes in the universal block, and I go to save it, and I go, oh crap, I already saved it. Then I got to bounce out and come back in. But what's cool there is most of the time it still remembered the changes I made, even though I hadn't saved it. So that's cool. But again, I think that's a function of the fact that the page did not reload. So that whatever was on the page never left the page. It stayed there. It was just hidden for a while, and then we pulled it back up again. Because people don't understand that all this stuff is on the page simultaneously. So that sidebar is here. It doesn't appear until we click the button, and then it comes over. All of this is here when the page loads. It's just hiding. I know we're getting a little inside baseball.
Yeah. Okay, I want to talk about the next icon on the top middle nav there. Oh, there we go. These are where you can now add your workflows. If you remember the old UI, you had no option to do this. You can add the lightning bolt and add a workflow, and it brings you all the way out to the workflow section of the app. Now you can attach a workflow directly.
It basically would have brought you out here, and then you had to activate the little thing here on the side and all that kind of stuff. So here, just one click, add a workflow or attach a workflow, whichever we want to do, and we'll just do our test workflow. Let's just select that one. And so what do I got to do here? Select a trigger. We'll opt in. We'll attach that workflow.
And now you can edit the workflow here too. You don't have to go out into the dashboard, into the workflow automation section. You can edit workflows and modify them directly in the funnel workflow area.
Well, and did you see what happened over here on the left-hand side? Is the workflow showing here now?
Correct.
And so I would have thought, okay, well, now I have to go back out here to where we were. And what the heck, which one were we just in? Oh, I guess we were in the first one, weren't we? So I thought we were going to have to come out here and come to the workflow. You see, now there's a 1 here. Here there's a plus sign. On the other ones, there's a plus sign. But here there's now a 1. So what happens here, it opens that up in the sidebar. And now I click on it. Okay, now change the tabs to this one here. All right. Okay, that's very efficient. I know you said that your whole goal here was to get rid of clicks.
Exactly.
And I'm happy about
even though we're ClickFunnels, we're trying to get rid of clicks.
Yeah.
It's kind of
well, it seems like those other softwares are actually trying to add clicks.
Right.
If you've tried to use them, you're like, why so many clicks?
We need to change the name to less ClickFunnels, and then or less clicks,
more funnels. But we're just trying to make things easier. Because we know that when people come to ClickFunnels and they're modifying their funnels or adding workflows or whatever it is, I mean, at least when I do it, I have pretty much a set amount of time I have to do these things, right? And I need to make that time as proficient as possible. And if I need to like click in this area, click in that area, go here, have 3 screens open so I'm not clicking around all the time, then it's just every click is, how many seconds for the page to load and, all the logic to render. This just saves me so much more time, right? So I can be more efficient in the time I have to build out my business, build out my funnels, build out my automations.
Yeah. And think about what you just said there. It takes a couple of seconds to paint all this on the page. So I'm here, let's say, and now I want to go up to this one, right? Okay, where we're still in the workflows. Let's go here for a better example. So I'm in this funnel page right here. And so the page loaded. Okay, good. Now I want to come over here, go 1001, 1002, okay, 2.5 seconds to make a round trip to the server, pull in all of the massive amount of data that has to come in along with this, paint the entire page, including all the stuff you don't see on here for every single one of the sidebar elements, because every one of these elements has data that has to go into the sidebar. Now, it's all the same sidebar element on the page, but there has to be a packet of information for every single element on the page that then has to get structured and displayed properly over here. Because what comes from the server is just a massive string of numbers and characters. Okay, it's just a big packet of information. And when it gets to your browser has to say, okay, we need to turn this into HTML, which is what displays on the pages here. It's the only language there is that displays on these pages. Now, CSS and JavaScript can modify it, but it's all HTML. That's all HTML there. So it had to take this gobbledygook, sort it out, figure out what to do with it, put it all on here so it's legible, readable to us humans, and it did that all in 2.5 seconds. So I just want people to realize what is going on behind the scenes and just the massive lift it is to give us what we get every day.
If that blew your mind, put gobbledygook in the chat.
Yes. You can spell it any way you want. It's a universal spelling on that.
Spell it phonetically, just how it sounds.
Just gobbledygook.
You never heard gobbledygook before?
Of course I have.
My first band was named Gobbledygook. I mean, nice. Come on. But all right, so let's get back to serious stuff here. All right, so we got our workflows. What's this next one here?
So these are your opt-ins. So anybody that opts into your funnel will show up on this section of the app. So you don't have to click back out, go to customers, filter for funnels. This shows you everybody that's opted in to this specific funnel. If you wanted to filter that down, you can click on a page on the left and it'll show you exactly who opted in at what page.
Okay, so that was funnel wide to begin with. Now this is just page per page as I'm clicking on it. Okay.
Correct.
All right, that makes sense.
If we went through your funnel and opted in on the first page, we would see your information in this area. So we just made it extremely easy, because if you remember, we showed you how many people opted in, but to actually see the list of people that opted in, it was another couple clicks. So we moved all that into this area. So this is one of my favorite areas of the app now, because I can do so much in so little time.
Yeah, I had no idea, honestly, because it wasn't really until a couple of days ago that I actually had this turned on in most of my accounts. I was like the last one to get it, I think, because I've been seeing it for 6 months, and finally
we have
finally flipped the switch for me,
and that's why I stopped watching your looms. But we've been slow rolling this out to make sure that when we do release it to the general audience, like to everybody, that it works the way that we want it to work.
Yeah. Right. And anybody who's gotten a new account really in the last 3 or 4 months probably had this UI.
They do have this UI.
Yeah. Okay. So they're used to using it already. You got people like Madison and myself and probably Rob. We go back to like the original 1.0 editor, and God, they should bring that back just for like a week so we can all go back in there and play with it and just have, just memories.
It's funny because I try to get my kids to play the original, like Mario, and they get bored after 3 seconds. They don't. There aren't enough buttons for them, and I think it's 7 seconds, and then they throw it away. They're trying to touch the screen. It doesn't work like that.
No, I remember playing Mario back in like the early 80s, so I'm sure it's not the same.
But it's
probably the last time I played it too was in the early 80s.
And if you want the experience of using the classic editor, you can just go to a different software platform.
Oh yeah, that's right. They still are using the original one, aren't they? Yeah. You mean Voldemort? the one who will not be named, Voldemort? Yes. All right, so we got orders here, and then we're also going to have analytics. But again, nothing exciting in here because there's no data. But again, it's pretty sweet. You're in here, you're in your funnel, you're actually making some sales, you're doing everything, and it's just, this is like, think about like an old. I hear it on the radio commercials now for iHeartRadio. Oh, set your presets for iHeartRadio to this station. Back in the old days, I know you kids don't know this stuff, but there used to be radios in cars, and there used to be buttons. You would push those buttons in. So that's basically what you got here is you got your 6 presets on your radio dial. And so you just push each one and boom, there you go. We go from our.
Can I put my request in for a button, the filter that says all time? So you don't have to click back on the calendar?
All time. So like over here?
We're up here on the.
Yeah, on the time, on the dates.
On the dates. Click on those dates. No, not here, Dan.
The next one over.
Yeah, I tried to.
We don't have.
Today, yesterday, last, this month, last. Well, you got custom.
So I believe we did discuss that, and the reason we didn't do it is because if you have 3 years of data, it's a lot to process.
Yeah.
Right, and we want to make sure that we can deliver that onto the page. So I think over a certain point, we you have to export the data, but that is possibly the reason. It's just a really heavy load for some workspaces and for some funnels. But noted.
Yeah.
You can always just, if it's too big, then you have to export it or something like that too.
Exactly.
Well, I think another reasonable one here though would be year to date.
Year to date.
I want to, middle of May, I want to say, okay, how am I doing so far?
Or last year.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Year to date and last year. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think those would be, it's that,
those would be great.
5 years worth of data. Of course, nobody can have 5 years worth of data yet in here because it
Not
didn't
yet.
exist. But I got to tell you guys something here. And then I'm looking at the clock here. It's already 54 minutes past the hour. Do you know? See this little AI icon here, which I don't know why you're using an AI icon here, but these are known as sparkle icons. So anything that has that little star thing and the two on the right side here, or if we go back out here to the Omni, let's see, where's this going to take me to? Okay, so like Omni here, that little thing right there, that's known. Anything that has that little star on it, that's known as a sparkle icon, and that signifies something is AI. Yes.
Fun fact of the day.
I know it is. You all learned something now today, finally.
I did not know that.
Yeah. I didn't know it either. I had to actually look it up the other day because somebody was calling it something. I was like, what the hell's that thing called? And it said, oh, it's called a sparkle icon.
It's the AI sparkle icon.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
So, but so as it's explaining it, it's showing 20 different varieties of it. And you guys are using a bunch here as well. So, but anything with the sparkle in it signifies that it is AI. And that is one thing we did not go through, but we will just touch on it briefly. We didn't touch on the agency accounts today. That's a whole other thing. But here we have what they're coming up with. Mine still is not fully working in my account, but it's AI Labs where you can come in here and you can start playing around. You can say, just type in here, I want an opt-in page that's going to do XYZ for me. And then it will start building it out. Then as you get it, you can modify it, change. I mean, just like you're working with regular old AI saying, okay, no, I want a blue button instead of a red button. And I want this in here for a headline, and it'll help you write the headlines and do all that kind of crazy stuff. So, but we obviously we're out of time. So we're not going to look at that today. But that is one thing. And Rob, you guys did some stuff over in the ClickFunnels page, which I don't know why you guys streamed that to the ClickFunnels page and not to the ClickFunnels group.
Did it not show up in the group also?
No.
I think the link to the page, it's a different way that we're streaming. So I do need to look at that again to see, because we used to be able to stream directly to the group and not only the page. So I'll take another look at that.
Well, I think with the page, what I've been doing when you guys stream to the page is I then share it to my group and to my profile, and that should work to share it there. If you share it only, if you stream only into the group, then I can't share it to other places unless somebody's a member of the group. Yeah. But so those guys, so what is it? It's like Wednesday afternoons, you guys do the coaching corner. On Tuesday, Dante and Jason have been doing something, Tuesday trainings. Also on Tuesday, Madison, you and Tony are doing a call. What do you guys call your call?
Funnel Friends Live.
Funnel Friends Live. Okay. Because they're friends with funnels or something.
That's right.
And for myself, I think starting next week, it depends how lazy I decide to be, is I'm going to start something on Saturdays that I'm calling Super Funnel Hacking Saturday. Ooh. And I'm going to jump on there for an hour or two. Anybody can jump on with me, and we're just going to do whatever. I have no agenda. Nobody shows up. I'll just probably shoot some training for 2 hours and be done with it. So, yeah, that's what all of our plans are. So virtually every day of the week. And if you're in the FBC, you got those calls. And then also Funnel Fridays now, I saw this morning, is only going to be the first Friday of every month, because I think
they've run out of funnel types.
I think every other week of the month is already scheduled with some other challenge or something else that they have evergreen. And so they're running out of days. So, and Ben only has just so much time.
Yeah. So
Rob, you got anything else before we let you go? Hey, we're like 10 minutes past time already here. So got anything else exciting?
I mean, exciting. Trying to think what I can share without getting in trouble. There are a couple things coming out that'll just make it easier to get started with ClickFunnels. I mean, this is insane. I've been using this to build out funnels, and it's fun to watch, right? Like you put in your prompt, and this is where I think it'll be going. Like the technology is here, right? It's literally baked into ClickFunnels now. You don't have to use other platforms, because I know you can do AI there, but now it's here, and now it's going to be about prompt hacking. right? Like who can come up with the best prompt to build the best funnel? That's where I think this is going to go. And we're going to try to figure that out on the back end. But if you guys are using this and find, which prompts generate the best funnels, tell us, because we'll help bake that into the logic on the back end. So it'll help everybody. So there's a couple other things. We're working on more libraries for people, for automations, for funnels themselves. But automation library, that one's going to be really cool, because if you want a drip sequence for new opt-ins, you don't have to build that every time, right? So we'll have a library that you can just use. And it'll have the delays, it'll have the email steps, it'll have everything that you need. So we're working on that. And then there are some other things that I think I can't mention.
Yeah, and it's already the top of the hour. But I will also say, and one thing we didn't get to was all of the stuff that was introduced a couple of weeks ago with the new 1 Comma Club challenge, and all of the new benefits of joining the FBC, and all the other new stuff that's going to be available for everybody else really soon, including that email generator thing, which for some reason I could never remember the name of that thing. Daily something or another.
Daily draft. Yeah.
Daily draft.
Yeah. So yeah, there's just tons of stuff. So just keep your eyes on this space over the next weeks and months, because there is a crap ton of stuff coming down the pike here, as they say.
Yep.
So.
You know how I looked at it? I looked at it like Captain Planet, right? It's like everyone's powers combined creates Captain Planet. We're Captain Funnels, or whatever you want to call it. But like, we're becoming the ultimate funnel builder ecosystem that you can have out there. Like, it's unmatched. It's really fun to see.
Okay, well, Captain Planet is probably better than Captain Underpants, so we're good to go there. So. That's a kid's book, really.
I know, it's a good one.
So you got kids, you should know these things. So either way, all right, let's wrap this thing up here. So you know where to be, what times, every day, every week, for all kinds of crazy training, and all kinds of new stuff is coming up. So I'm done. Madison, Rob, say goodbye and get us out of here.
All right. Well, we will see you guys all next week.
Yes, I appreciate you having me.
All right,
anytime, man. Rob. See you.
Rob, don't hang up.